Now think Cuba and what comes to mind? Well, cigars you could say, cars and of course Castro. But forget what you've heard or read. See this instead. NDTV spent 4 days in Havana to get a sense of what the quality of life is for ordinary Cubans 50 years after the revolution. Fidel Castro, of course, has handed over reins to his younger brother Raul, and the last few years have seen change slowly but surely. Is the pace enough? Sarah Jacob reports from inside Castro's Cuba.
En vez de maldecirte con un en mis sueños de colmo, en mis sueños de colmo, de bendiciones.
A drive through the main streets of Cuba, and we're greeted by an unusual sight.
The simple act of selling food or wares on the street is something we all take for granted. But here in Cuba, we're told until a few years ago, this would not have been allowed. But now with the economy slowly opening up, this small step is a big sign of change.
As a country, Cuba seems stuck in a time warp since the 1959 revolution. For decades, the government banned the sale of real estate and kept a tight grip on new construction. Materials were scarce, red tape endless. Once grand homes have been allowed to become crumbling monuments to their bygone glory. Unlike in India, where even in the heyday of Nehruvian socialism, the government opted for a mixed economy, allowing private enterprise to flourish in the small-scale sector, in retail and the restaurant business. In Cuba, the state controlled everything.
For Cubans, everything requires standing in line. As a foreigner, I was able to buy this ice cream without any hassle. But for Cubans, there are rules and regulations. You have to stand in line, and even ice cream is rationed.
Since the fall of the Soviet Union in 1991 and the end of its aid to Cuba, this island nation has limped along economically, relying mostly on tourism to earn foreign exchange. And while the people are cheerful, the going is tough.
Todo por la revolución, or everything for the revolution. For better or for worse, Fidel Castro is the greatest leader to emerge from Latin America in the 20th century. Universal education, almost guaranteed employment, and quality healthcare are the communist leader's great achievements. However, he did not manage to reduce Cuba's dependence on the export of tobacco, sugar and nickel, nor did he manage to industrialize this island nation so that Cuba can compete on the world market with durable goods.
Raul Castro, who took over from his ailing older brother in 2008, is playing the hand he's been dealt as best as he can, introducing more pragmatic economic policies. In November 2011, Cuba announced its most important economic reform. People would be allowed to own property and could buy or sell real estate. The Cuban government also created a small window for private enterprise. For over 12 years, Eduardo Pimentel has been teaching community yoga in Havana. 2 years ago, he registered his Vidya Yoga studio as a private enterprise. He now pays 100 Cuban pesos a month and 10% of the profit to the government as a license fee.
This is a new and surprising new change in Cuba economy.
Cuba is changing, you see it.
Yeah, it's changing. It's slow, but it's good. It's changing.
For decades, Cubans rarely ate out and tourists were forced to frequent state-run restaurants where they would have to struggle to swallow the bland food and struggle harder to get the attention of the disinterested waiter. Now Cuba is peppered with private restaurants like these called paladars, which are often run out of one's own home.
Estoy contento de trabajar en mi propio restaurante para realizar mi propio menú y así realizarme como chef de cocina para un futuro. Ser un chef internacional.
Today, there are about 400,000 licensed entrepreneurs in Cuba.
This island of 1 million people is experiencing its most significant economic regime change since the end of the Soviet Union. The first round of reforms in the early 90s merely tinkered with change, but the new regime under Raul Castro is clear. Cuba is going to have to move towards being a market economy like the rest of the world. The only question still open is the speed at which it makes this change and its implications for its internal politics. In Havana, Sarah Jacob, NDTV.
Do you have the NDTV Profit app? All the markets, all the news and your own homemade, ready-made portfolio available there for you.
We will right now answer what you should sell, what you should buy when markets are down.
Download at ndtvprofit.com/apps. Get the best app from the channel you trust.